fact, I was told to be quiet most of the time. And as we went through school, in junior high, it got a little worse. In high school, it got even worse. And then
Mm.
I learned that in college, where I went to the University of Michigan, hoping to be able to communicate, it wasn't very good in the classrooms either. I did learn how to communicate in Ann Arbor, but it wasn't in the classrooms. And I dropped out of college, not once, but twice, Shelly. And when I came back the second time, or when I dropped out the second time, my mom got me a job, and she got me a job at working as a child care worker in a state mental health facility. And that's where I learned that communication really was at the heart of all healing. I began to interact with these children in ways they weren't really children. They were only 6 or 7 years younger than me, but in ways that, we were all healing, them and I, in communication and in connection. And I began to become very, very enchanted with this idea of the power of communication. And that's when I chose to go to medical school so that I could learn how to be a psychiatrist and bring communication open and honestly to the world. The psychiatrists that are already learning how to medicate people, that's what they were doing over there in the state hospital. And I was really against that. I just decided that that wasn't the way to actually treat people who were trying to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I got typecast over the next several years into being a pharmacologist because that's the way the direction that psychiatry had taken. And so I didn't like being a pharmacologist, but I wrote over 100,000 prescriptions in my 30-year career. And I had over 40,000 patients. So there was like an opportunity for me to live a duplicitous life, a life that was misaligned with what it is I wanted to say and who I really wanted to be. At times, knowing that the medications were not doing what they were supposed to do. And sometimes were even making things worse. And this was very hard on me and, represented a soul sacrifice. So
Yeah.
over time, because of this pain and because I no longer wanted to do that anymore, no longer really could tolerate it, I eventually stopped medicating people on a regular basis. I began to take them off of their medicine even in times and actually take them off of their diagnosis because that's why they were taking medicine in the first place. And they got way better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go fast forward to the last few years. I began to, again, really amplify the importance of conversation, communication, and human connection at the heart of all healing. And
Yeah.
I created a couple programs and wrote a couple books that were really focused on that. So Find Your True Voice is a book that I wrote, and I also wrote a True Voice course, which helps people find their true voice and then deliver it using the template of none other than podcasting like we're using today. So
Right.
it's a wonderful place to be able to communicate your truest views and your truest, observations about life in general.
Right. Yeah.
So and ultimately, what we got to was really, I am committed to helping people actually dig down and rediscover their true voice, which has been there the whole time. Their inner child is what I heard someone say earlier today.
Oh, inner child.
The inner child, the person who's been with you the whole time, the voice that's been with you even since you were a young person on this planet. And so that's who I've now become, is just an ambassador for true voice.